Hello, hello, folks of SpeedGaming 2. We are just about to get underway. Thank you for your patience as we work through a little bit of cropping issues here. Yeah, we got a CGC race, Metroid Prime 1 and 2 multi-world racing. It actually should be a great matchup today. We're featuring two different teams that made the top 8 brackets. In fact, the 1 and 2 seeds, if I remember correctly. They had some excellent performance in Swiss. I'm expecting great things from both teams. And we got a pretty loaded race room aside from the races we're featuring. We have 7 teams altogether, which might be a record. Definitely up there. A lot of interest in the CGC racing today. Always excited to see it. This is one of my favorite formats, so we should be getting underway quite shortly. Yeah, runners are off in the race room, so in about a minute we will hopefully be catching up here. Alright, runners are off. I am getting audio. I don't know if this is just me, but I am not really seeing gameplay yet. We will have to. What's happening? Somehow else. And that's who screens either. Okay. Well, stand by. We will do our best to get our video feeds up and running shortly here. In the weekly settings, we're going to get landing site starts from both players, as opposed to the usual echoes in main energy controller. It does give echoes a little bit of a decision to make right off the bat. We play straight for something like Temple Assembly Site? Do we go straight to the elevator? Usually going straight to the elevator makes a lot of sense. But when to make the Great Temple play is always tricky. And then, for some reason, these CGC seeds, Violet likes to turn up in Great Temple, which means it is safe to take the route into Great Temple, kind of the vanilla path to Alpha Splinter through GFMC, up the Emerald Gate, which locks behind you. It means you're in trouble if there's not Violet up there, but a lot of the time it has been up there lately, so we'll see if either team ends up making that point of no return check up there at some point in the early game. We've got one of the runner's feeds pulled up. It looks like we found both Screw Attack and Morph Ball Bombs already on the Echo side. Prime has been sent to Power Bomb expansion, but I'm not entirely sure what all they've received from themselves. You know, we got an early. Stand by. Still doing a reboot here. Aha, that looks more promising. Perhaps. Oh, we have one frame of action, anyways. So yeah, as I was talking about, we already did find. That's interesting. Looks like on Dace and Lucas' side, we did not get that early PB. That PB was up in Temple Assembly Site. So I'm not sure if Luca ended up playing directly into Aegon rather than turning around at the elevator like Nye did and going to Temple Assembly Site to check that out of logic check. Screw Attack is a logical way to climb Mining Plaza, so like the logical check is Portal Access A, so it does make some amount of sense on Luca's side to just proceed into Aegon while you're already in the elevator room and you have a logical means to proceed. We'll see if Morph turns up and Faizi ends up with a little bit of an advantage from having the earlier explosive. Hey, Metroid Prime Gaming. All right. So indeed, it looks like, yeah, so Nai being a lot more thorough in Temple Grounds, whereas Luca is pressing on into Aegon. So I don't believe Nai has entered Aegon yet at the 4-minute mark. Nai went up to Temple Assembly Site, got the item there out of logic. The Morph Ball Bombs came in, they proceeded to Com Area, now they're coming down here. Versus Luca, who proceeded into Aegon, got the bombs there, which also opens up stuff to do in Aegon. So a lot of route divergence already on the Echo side. Not as sure on the Prime side what all both runners have done yet. Looks like Dace is ahead, getting to Artifact Temple and scanning and grabbing the artifact hints. Not going to read them yet. Usually, in my opinion, good to just kind of wait till you end up either waiting around for items or both players' seeds have kind of opened up. Because in a solo seed, spending some time to read artifact hints, you're going to have to do it anyway, so it doesn't really matter when you do it. But in a CGC format, if you read your artifact hints too early, you're conceivably doing that on like double time, right? Where you might be expected to go get something for your partner, and if you're spending time reading hints, that's going to delay when you get the thing that gets your partner moving, and so both of you are basically standing around while you're reading hints, which is not ideal. Really want to spend as little time as possible without both players moving to bring your CGC times down. There's a light beam for Echoes, courtesy of an out of logic early root cave climb. We have actually, well, I say out of logic, it's out of logic for Dacia. It's actually perfectly in logic for Faizi already. Well, no, we need space jump, which must be coming up here. Either in early Aegon, or maybe it was just in Artifact Temple itself. I missed where Dace got the space jump from, unfortunately. So that should be decent news for Nye as well. Should be getting that light beam before too long. I'm sure Faizi will head over to Root Cave as soon as when you get the grapple and the X-ray this early. It's a pretty strong signal. We find super missiles for Dacian in the below Root Cave transport access or whatever that's called. And yeah, wow, Luca with 4 E-Techs at the 6-minute mark is kind of wild. Honestly, nice, at least having one. While it is somewhat safe to traverse this early Dark Aegon loop, given the quantity of safe zones and lots of things that give you ammo. Hello, is that Prime main PB's in Junction Site? Certainly glowing. But yeah, while you do get plenty of safe zones and plenty of things that drop, every once in a while the Echo's drop system decides to be uncooperative, particularly in this room. Getting through this with no E-Tanks is a little spooky if the Echo's drop system decides to troll you. But with this amount of E-Tank, no problem whatsoever. Alright, we did get that space jump on Faizi's side as well. Must have been in Artifact Temple. Or maybe Portal Access. I don't even know. There's too many screens. How does anyone do this? We get an Amber Translator out of the tree from Dace. Perfect timing, actually, for Luca, who is coming out of a portal into a room with an Amber hint. This hint actually ends up a little bit annoyingly isolated if you don't get it first pass, so not quite as bad as missing the Aegon Energy Controller hint, but this is a nice little timing sync up here. The missile launcher is in Temple Grounds. So now I'm going to be following into the Dark Aegon loop here. And Nye does have the advantage of having cleared a little bit more of Temple Grounds. It seems like for the most part, I would say Partners in Prime are a little bit on the right track here. I'm going to rely on chat if anyone's reading these hints, because there's too much going on for me to focus on reading all of those. Let's see if there's something in Sand Cache behind this Echo. We are still looking for this Prime Morph Ball. Yeah, Dacian kind of running out of stuff to do. There's a little bit of out of bounds shenanigans you can do to avoid to skip some Morph Ball requirements. We'll see. It looks like Dacian is interested in it. We do get a Chica Key hint. I think that said Magmor and Talon. I'm not sure. And there's a Varia suit. Alright, so that will give Dacian a little bit of stuff to do in early Magmor. Another E-Tank for Echoes. Is that 5 now for Luca? Comes through? Yeah, 5 E-Tanks already for Echoes. That's kind of crazy. Oh, I doing the... that screw that across the jump grenade room scares me. It's so easy to accidentally trigger that fight or bonk off the wall and fall backwards to trigger the fight. And then you're doing the full jump gradient fight as Retro intended, which is unfortunately very slow relative to our kind of quick kill by shooting the or the loaded invisible model before the fight activates. Looks like, yeah, we're gonna get a save warp out of Dacian. Varia opens up some of the Talon to Magmor stuff. Can't do anything from the Chozo side yet without Morph, so save warp makes a lot of sense here. Izzy, on the other hand, re-entering Chozo with Space Jump in hand. A couple more things we can do here. Oh yeah, and the supers, so we'll get this Amber Translator for Nai. Similarly, the Amber will show up at a decently nice time for Nai. Won't be isolating any of the Amber hints. Actually, oh no, and Luca hadn't even done Bomb Guardian yet. Okay, so yeah, no, the Amber really turned up at a nice time for both runners. We'll be able to get all the Amber hits relatively easily without any backtracking, which is always nice. And there is E-Tank number 5 for Nai as well. Faizi, on the other hand, sitting with no E-Tanks, yeah, as is Dace, so sure. If it was me in the voice call, I'd be like, where the heck are my E-Tanks? As the prime player here. And you know, the early Magmor, this Magmor dive on no E-Tank is a little bit spooky. We don't have Morph, we have to walk through the Slavo here. Ideally, oh gosh. Yeah, that Magmor is... he's so much more likely to hit you if you jump, but if you don't jump, you're waiting in the lava, so it's like, oh, there we go, there's an IC tank. Lower fire shores that'll give us a good health refill, and it should make the rest of this way less stressful for Dace. Ooh, Dace's gonna go for this peek here. I have no idea. They're not doing it again, so I'm not sure if they saw it or if they just decided to give that one shot and move on. Plasma and Temple Sanctuary, that's an excellent hint. Thank you, chat, for pointing that out. I did not see that come through. That may just be worth a visit. Now, Plasma doesn't do... I guess Plasma doesn't really do us that much good. Right now, until we have access to Vendrana, we're waiting on either Morph... Well, really, we're waiting on Morph. Now we need Morph and Bombs or Wave Beam, I guess, to get in Vendrana. There are Echo's main PBs. Alright. So this does make the... Yeah, so I think this route seems like it's going to work out overall a little bit better on Partners in Prime side. Luke is going to be ahead getting back into Temple Grounds. We're going to have both of those early game Aegon bosses down to get extra checks. We have all the items we need to do a lot of the Temple Grounds cleanup all at once. Only thing that's a little awkward is we can't do the GFMC ship, can't get across to the Windshaper Gateway yet without Space Jump. So we're gonna hope the Space Jump turns up in the next little bit here for if you're Luca. But it makes a lot of sense to me to just, yeah, we're gonna take a save warp, do DMT, and so this ends up running kind of nicely for Luca. We're gonna get the Hive Chamber B check kind of for free, whereas Nai the early trip to it, which is gonna cost a little bit of time in the long run. But sometimes there can just be an early morph ball there, and you feel real silly when you get to it. If I'm Luca here and I find morph ball in Hive Chamber B, I'm not going to be super happy about it because we could have gotten it a lot earlier. Even though this route overall was quite efficient, sometimes you get rewarded for inefficiency. It's just how rando goes sometimes. And all right, morph ball. That I am feeling great about that as Luca. Pretty unreasonable to have gotten there any sooner, but we do have a morph ball on DMT, and Dacian is back in action. And we get a Violet Translator. That will make it possible for us to go get that Plasma. Out of Temple Sanctuary. Awesome, thank you, Delta Toast. Artifacts in Artifact Temple, Path of Roots, Aerial Training Site, Training Chamber Access. Training Chamber Access. Oh, yeah, in Prime. Plaza Access, Battleground, Torvus Energy Controller, and a couple more that we did not quite catch on the hint reading. Provides you with a much cleaner Tunnel B or C or whatever that is, wading through the lava, dodging the Magmar. Only took a little bit of damage, but will still happily take another E-Tank here. Main Reactor, one of the ones we missed. Ruined Shrine. So that will be the rest of them. Yes, okay. So Nai gets the hint as well about that Plasma Beam from Aegon Energy Controller. And so this is a bit interesting for Nai. The PBs came in before we got to Vent Area A. So Nai does have the opportunity to play for Hazing Cliff here. Let's see if Nai opts to do that. It is not in Logic. It does require a suit. And we don't have Spider Ball to get the other two items in the Spider's Treasure area, as we call it. First 3 checks in Sank when you're approaching from Aegon. Oh, there is a suit, though, coming out of Prime. So Hazing Cliff is actually in Logic. We just don't know about that on the Team Nizy side. Oh, I guess I've been saying the team names of these 2 teams just because I know them, but they're not on the restream. So if I'm saying Partners in Prime, that is our team on the left, Dacian and Lucarius Lion. Team Fizy is Team Nizy is Nai and Fizy. Both teams that teamed up in our last tournament and have been sticking together and racing since. There is a Morph Ball bomb on Prime side out of Gathering Hall, it looked like. No, not Gathering Hall. Lower Dynamo. The missile under the poison water. Not going to be too interested in grabbing that. So with somewhat low health. Vanilla Echo's missile launcher. Very nice. So the Prime launcher then is somewhere in Prime. I'm assuming we found it already. It might have been one of the first checks we did, honestly. Alright, Nai is going to make this play to Hazing Cliff. Could be a good check here, because it might take Luke a hot minute to get back here. Is it something? It is? The Spider Ball. That's an excellent item. That will also unlock the Prime main Power Bomb, put them in Logic. Now, I don't know that Nai's going to be that interested in going back for that, given that we have already found an expansion, so Prime can at least do the Power Bomb lock checks, given that we don't have require main launcher on these settings for either player. You are allowed to use Power Bombs as soon as you get an expansion. Same with missiles, as soon as you get an expansion, you can start using missiles. There are randomizer settings that force you to find the main launcher before you can actually use any of the expansions, but to kind of keep things moving a little bit more in the multi-world environment, we do not use those flags in our standard racing settings. comes the plasma beam while we fight the incinerator drone. See if we get anything else here out of Great Temple. And now, yeah, plasma does do stuff for us now. With the bombs showing up, we can get into the shorelines area, and plasma does unlock some checks there. So I would definitely be interested in heading over there as Dacian. But we're already here in Jozo, might as well finish off the bomb lock checks while we can. Can do this, can do lower furnace, can look at upper furnace, can get it if we want to do a trick, won't be in logic. At that point we can turn around and perhaps head back into Magmar. I honestly don't actually even hate doing Flagra into Lava Lake into Fen. Otherwise it gets kind of awkward to do Flagra later. But I don't mind chasing the plasma here either, so we'll see what Dacian opts to do. Nai taking the spider into labs is a bit interesting. NSJ no Dark Beam Labs, not my absolute favorite place to be. It could just be that we're actually looking to take a save warp here as Nai, and we're just going to do the little bit here until we can save warp out of sand processing. Oh, Dark Beam 2 from Command Center. Oh, okay. Well, that makes 2 from Command Center. So what's that, a Dark Beam in CMS? Surely it's not a Dark Beam in main reactor. I guess it could be. Not exactly sure what that was in main. Oh no, it's an we already knew it's an artifact. So yeah, so Dark Beam then has to be in Central Mining Station, which we would quite like Space Jump to acquire, unfortunately. Not actually sure if it's possible to do that room NSJ. If it is, I am not familiar with the methods. Bit of an awkward bomb jump, especially with these turrets shooting us. Yeah, I gotta take them out. Where are we going for Faizi? Is this back to Chozo? Oh, we still don't have the Morph Ball. But Nai is about to save warp, and presumably our first check is going to be Dark Mesa Trooper. So Faizi should be in business here momentarily. We'll see where they're going to set up with to receive the Morph Ball. Looks like they might just end up waiting. Or they? It's funny. Both runners started to do this wall crawl right as right. Oh no, Faizi! No, Faizi! Wait! Oh no. Faizi's gonna go out of bounds and receive Morph Ball instantaneously. Oh no. Wait, just wait. No. No. Unfortunate timing. And that's just how these things go. Like, so much of CGC can just depend on like little minute things, like, you know, if Nai is like 10 seconds faster to Morph Ball for some reason, that saves Faizi this entire reset. And you know that can compound, right? Like now maybe Faizi is gonna be 30 seconds late to something Nai needs. And so but even the opposite can happen. There's been times where not getting an item at a certain time has led me to make a decision that like ends up benefiting you. Like if you have some items that can open stuff and you can start heading down a pathway that ends up being full of useless checks. So it's always interesting just to see the little tiny differences in how these seeds play out, potentially spiral into quite big consequence or quite big differences. So it looks like Luca pretty much running out of logical things to do. We're going to break into labs here from the front using some bomb jumps. It seems like the answer may well just be in Fenderana. Dacian did end up taking the Lava Lake elevator here. It looks like we did. I'm sure I didn't miss an entire Flagra fight. So I'm assuming we skipped Flagra. Yeah, we have a couple more Magmar checks we can get done here. And then I am definitely interested to see what's going to be in Fenderana. Feels like the answer has to be Fenderana. My turn. Gonna take these power bombs and start working on the Temple Grounds loop. Well, Luca starts to open up labs here. I don't know why those crates never exploded there. Kind of weird. We'll lose Fizzy's feed here momentarily. So I'm going to check out Storage Cavern here in Magmore. And we had another red key. Already found one Torvus key. And there's an Inghive key. Don't care too much about those usually. I'm going to take the Morph Ball back to Ruined Shrine, get these checks out of the way. I did not see Dace coming here. I assume that Dace has done this, but could be wrong. Oh no, Dace must not have, because that is artifact number 2 for Fizzy. Maybe Dace waiting, putting off some of the Chozo cleanup perhaps until Wave Beam, or are really just interested in chasing this Plasma Beam, which to me makes a lot of sense. Like, Shorelines is very dense with the items we have. Lot of quick checks with Plasma, and Plasma was one of the later things we found in our progression order, given that it was behind the Violet Translator. And yeah, we've already collected that main PB there, so no need to grab it again. Dacian reset out of Magmore the first time. Are we off to? Oh no, okay, I'm just turned around. We were heading back to Fire Shore. Would surprise me. We get a magma pool check. I missed if anything was in there. Doesn't look like we have anything new, unfortunately. Thermal visor also turned up at some point. I did not see where that came from, but Dacian has it. Loads of PP drops there for Nye. PPs do a nice job of speeding up this splinter fight. And unfortunately for Luca, with no Dark Beam and entering labs from the front, we have to do the annoying little vanilla lowering the security barrier. Plasma does come through for Fizzy as well. Yeah, it seems like somehow Partners and Prime have actually already built a pretty sizable lead. Feels like Dacian is like 5 or 6 minutes ahead of Fizzy. And Luca as well has done like strictly more checks than Nye, I believe, at this point. There is that Dark Beam hint coming in for Nye. That's great info. Yeah, Luca just probably going to wait around here for Space Chimp. Makes a lot of sense. Not much point in poking around in labs without Dark Beam. Like, Dark Beam's going to be the thing we want as soon as Spaceship comes through, so yeah, no, sitting around here makes a whole lot of sense to me. But where is that Space Jump? Is the question. It could be on Flagra. Like, the Fendrana play could be bait. Prime Boost Ball and Ice East lower. Okay. Interesting. And Luca leaving CMS, did we think of something we can do? We do always have the option of getting out of bounds using our friendly neighborhood sandworm, Robert, in Mining Plaza. Could always attempt some shenanigans there. Unfortunately, wall crawling, NSJ, and Ega. Haha, there we go. Base jump comes through for Luca, locked by that plasma, and Fendrana. So with that, Luca is in excellent shape. We have pretty much the whole early game item package. We have our first 2 beams, we have Spaceship Screw Attack, we have Morph Ball Bombs, PBs. We can go a lot of places. Oh, you know, the one thing Luca has not done is found that Spider Ball out of Hazencliff. That is the one advantage that Team Nizy has right now. And with the world opening up, like, that's a kind of bad spot for Spider, because normally, especially once the game starts to open up like this, Sank is a lot less appealing until you get Spider Ball. A lot less of it is in logic. And like, Luca's gonna have Torvis access. No, we just have Torvis access. So we'll see if Luca ends up deciding to make a dip into Spider's treasure at any point soon. But yeah, the Spider Ball actually could end up being pretty big here, even with the early game lead that Partners in Prime on the left has been developing over the course of the seed so far. Battlegrounds artifact is the lower check. That is nice. We'll be able to get that here first pass in Dark Labs. And the sort of vanilla boost ball in Adrana Canyon. The Echoes boost ball living there today rather than the Prime one. So boost ball for both players here in Early Fen as well as the Space Jump. So yeah, Early Fen really paying off well for our runners today. And unfortunately, yeah, so Nai also kind of entering this the Space Jump BK mode, as we call it. But yeah, Faizi is quite a ways away. I did not. We took a death there. I don't know if that was intentional on Dacian's side. We're back in Talon. Oh boy, no, that was probably not intentional. We just lost Boost Ball. What else did we pick up for ourselves on Prime? We lost our Morph Ball bombs as well. That's actually a very bad death. I didn't see exactly what happened there. Yeah, just like that. The whole texture of this race may just have changed. Getting the space jump for Echoes early, what, like, at least we got that space jump early. So Luca is going to be quite a ways ahead of Nai. But this definitely narrows the gap between Faizi and Dacian in terms of checks done by the time Dacian has to backtrack for the items that we found for ourselves in Prime. Faizi might actually be ahead now. Big moment coming up here for Lucarius. Are we going to attempt the Spider track skip here? I guess we have to kill Dark Samus first, but we haven't done all the rest of the lab, so that's probably coming first. So never mind. Yeah, we're gonna do light labs, so backwards, I assume. So we will have that decision later. And now I'm gonna enter labs, get these cutscenes out of the way. And Faizi is gonna skip Flagra as well. And I'm assuming we are heading to Lava Lake, gonna follow in Dacian's footsteps, and eventually get ourselves to that Spider Ball. Or sorry, not Spider, a Space Jump. Oh my god, that's not thermal, that's plasma. I did the same thing earlier. Oh my gosh, yeah, I said thermal turned up and that was just a lie. No, that's plasma beam. But for some reason, it being right above X-ray, sort of looking like it's in like a visor containment, made me think it was thermal. Oh my gosh, okay. losing our minds. So yeah, Dacian retreading ground. I'm gonna grab the bombs here. Yeah, we also lost the one and only E-tank we had on the Prime side, so like we missed a scan point somewhere. We missed one of the first ones. Oh, we just finished. We're just short of scanning it. Oh, where are we going? Faizi? Okay, Faizi retreading, presumably for a gallery tunnel. We'll delay the entry into Magmor a little bit, and let's delay the space jump. So it's kind of weird. The only player who's going to be making new checks that we've not seen yet is Luca for a while. Faizi going to be following in what Dace did before. Dace going to be following in what Dace did before. And Nai is basically stuck waiting for the space jump to turn up. Yeah, the baby Sheegoths in Ruins Access or Westerns Access or something can sometimes be really troublesome. Sometimes I feel like their AI aggro is quicker, or they get off the ground quicker, and they can block your way. It's also obnoxious. It's one of the loads that's the most annoying on Dolphin relative to console, in that like it gives them the little bit of extra lag in loading the room on Dolphin. Gives the Sheegoths time to come up behind you and give you an extra love tap or two. Super annoying. Oh no, did Dace not have enough missiles? Oh no. Alright, now we can get our PBs, or our bombs. I'm sorry, Dace. Dace is probably very unhappy with, with how this is playing out. The death into the missile shenanigans. Oh, there's a peak for that from there? Interesting. Nai is going to give a Central Mining Station and NSJ College try here. I am not sure if this is a thing. Maybe it is, and maybe it's just extremely cursed. The BSJ into the Screw Deck jump extend does look a little promising. CK and Bioenergy, that's nice for Luca. Nai will be able to get that once the space jump does end up coming through. But yeah, Faizi's still a couple minutes out from that. Wave and Storage B. Okay. So that's interesting. That's going to open up a little bit of routing options for... Oh no, Dace is turning around. Interesting. I was wondering if we were going to see the back end of Chozo here. Looks instead like... I'm surprised we're not doing training chamber area. Or maybe we already have somehow? It's a little interesting to me. Because there's an artifact in training chamber access. I feel like we should have just grabbed that now. Either way on that. If it's a thing, I would expect Nai knows about it and would be going for it. But also, if it's not a thing, I expect Nai to be the kind of person who would try to improvise something like this on the fly and sometimes pull it off. Like, Nai has definitely found some fun new tech for Echoes over the years. So. We have Tower Missiles, we have a burger. Oh, well, not really a burger. The Prime 1 expansion. I missed whatever the hint was in... Did we actually play into? I couldn't see on Luca's map if we went into Mining Station B. Oh, Echo Spider was hinted. That's so good for Luca. We're not going there. Was it a vague hint? Surely we want the Spider Ball. Oh, we need a PB? Okay. Yeah, this is a great room, by the way, to farm power bombs. If you're out of power bombs, shoot a missile at these guys. before they aggro, and you'll almost always get at least 2, if not 3 power bombs. Excellent spot to farm. Alright, Faisy is entering Fendrana. So this will get Nye moving again once the Dark Game comes in, but yeah, Luca has had so much time with his space jump, extra time relative to Nye. And that hint really destroyed the only advantage they have, which is the somewhat awkward spider ball location. So yeah, excellent hint for Partisan Prime here. Alright. Faisy is going to head into Ice East first, rather than heading up. So this will delay the space jump even slightly more, but they did the same thing, so... In that extent, no harm, no foul relative to the opposing team here. What do we got up here in Hall of Combat Mastery? Oh, we have a Prime E-Tank. Yeah, I think Dace will take that. Especially given we lost the one... Oh yeah, okay, but we can grab the one again here. Dace is about to proceed through the room where the other E-Tank was. Luke having a bit of trouble with the stupid camera angle when you screw attack into this Hall of Combat Mastery tunnel. It does muck with the camera. This is way worse than usual. I've not seen it be this bad before. Yeah, Luke is trying to reset. There we go. Oh, God. There we go. Gets it. Nicely done. So Luca, with the beams in hand and Spider Ball turning up, could opt to just stay in Sanctuary after grabbing the spider. We don't have either Cobalt or Emerald, which is sometimes a decent sign of which area you're supposed to stay in next. It's really interesting to see. Upper Torvis, quite dense. Often a preferred place for a lot of runners to try to go to once the game starts to open up. But we are already here in Sank. Did get put into logic by the spider. And we don't have a translator for Torvis anyways, so... Who knows? We'll see. Blech. Getting a little bullied there. And Dacian gonna be back in Fendrana, gonna grab that Morph Ball again out of Ice Ruins East. And with Wave in hand, we'll be free to continue on into the middle of Fendrana. The labs, actually, with supers, we could head to Thardis as well. And unfortunately, Faisy opting to do Fen Canyon and Ice Ruins West before climbing up to Vanilla Wave. So it is going to last location the space jump. Unfortunately, here in Fen... No, Faisy! No, Faisy! Oh, we're saving for the Powerbomb lockpick, probably. Surely this is not a save warp. Okay, just a safety save. Dace here to get revenge on the She-Goths. Easy jump this time. And gets a Dark Burst for their trouble. And gonna immediately start taking advantage of the wave, and yeah, so still with this, even with that death, which I know was fairly costly for Dacian, Partisan Prime still really well situated in this race. Luca way ahead on checks relative to Nye with his space jump coming in earlier, and now Dacian going to start to pull away from Faisy again with the wave beam being already in hand. He's going to take a save here. This will probably be a pivot for the Thardis versus Labs play. So if we don't find anything Labs, or if we only find Echoes items, we can always just we can quit out of Main Reactor and get right back here and continue the route towards Thardis. Always a nice idea to make that pivot save before entering laps, if you don't have Ice Beam to proceed through the back. And yeah, Luca did opt for Torvist. Not going to be spending any extra time in Sank. Heading in this way, not in Logic without Seekers, but we do have logical access to enter Torvist from the front via Temple Grounds. And gets the Seeker skip. Nicely done, Luca. Looks like we're going to do the wall crawl here. Well, we have to do some wall crawling here. Either we have to bypass the Emerald Gate, or we need to go up and do the pirate fight. Luca may as well opt. No, we're just going to do the pirate fight. Could have opted to go all the way up to Torvus Energy Controller, get that artifact out of the way. Not have to worry about coming back with supers later. Also, sometimes that opens up the this elevator as a shortcut if Emerald does turn up before supers. Makes Torvus riding a little bit easier to get between the front and the Grove side. Faizi, being done in Fen, is gonna head back to Jozo. Now I'm gonna take a peek here at Feeding Pit. I don't think we saw this from Luca. This will be a little new piece of information for us. What do we got down there? I walked so far backwards there, I can't see it. Nice, interested in this. I have no idea what that was. Absolutely no idea. Nice pirate fight skip there from Dacian. Look at riding this elevator up. Oh, we have wait, we're supers vanilla? That's so nice. If that was what they were, or maybe they were in labs. Did anyone see where the supers came from? Control tower. Wow, that's such great timing for Partners in Prime. Excellent time for supers to come in. Is he gonna take on the plant here? This is a new check, so an opportunity for Team Nizy to get a little advantage here if this is some progression here on the plant. It might be quite a while before Dacian gets back to this. Now, I say that, we are a little bit running out of Wave Beam checks unless Ice Beam turns up. First Temple, double damage, alright. Nice little multiplayer pickup there for Luca. And yeah, we see Partners on Prime starting to pull away a little bit on the key collection. We have 5 artifacts to 3 and 3 SDKs to 0. Yes, both teams are using the same seed. And so it's a 2-player multi-world. So there's a 1 Prime seed, 1 Echo seed per team. But the items will be in the same places across the games for everyone who's running the seed, or the session. What do we have? Poison Bog. We have a Morph Ball related upgrade. We are running out of interesting Morph Ball related upgrades. Prime Spider is still unknown. That's really the only one we care about. Ooh, Dacian going for Thardus skip here? Or just doing Cumon first for a Gravity Suit. Alright. Doesn't really do anything for us logically, but it'd be nice to have to get through Frigate a lot quicker. Yes, this is our weekly. So we do, well, this format is done every other week. This is what we call our CGC, our cross-game clash. Typically we run solo races, so either everyone's racing 1 seed of Echoes or 1 seed of Prime on Saturdays or Sundays. But every once in a while we'll replace one of the solo races with a multi-world race. If any of that doesn't make sense, I'm happy to elaborate further, though. Let me know. Yeah, this is a nice format. So yeah, we get both runners able to VC with each other, so you can talk strategy. Just takes the edge off the race nerves as well. Blame your partner when things go wrong. That kind of, all that good stuff. Why did you put my freaking space jump boots in Chozo Ice Temple? Oh, nothing on plants, sadly. So 1 out removed from the equation for Team Nizy here. Generally, things are still looking very good for Team Partners in Prime on our left. Now you're going to be doing some out of bounds here to take a look at Storage C without the super missiles. Faizi, in turn, trying to get back over this Arboretum gate. Can try to use boost to clip through it, and does. Very nice. And so yeah, Dacian done with all of the Far Fen, Far Magmore checks. Good, bad, or bad, good? It's not been too bad. Worst was Echo's space jump was in Chozo Ice Temple. It's probably the worst thing we found. Nai only got that space jump a few minutes ago, whereas Luca managed to get it probably 15. So Luca has had quite a bit of time over Nai to start clearing stuff. Luca's already done all of labs, including this wave beam coming up in Storage B. Dacian did take an unfortunate death. Had to spend probably about an 8-minute death, honestly. We had to go back into Chozo, get our bombs. We had to go back into Fen, get our boost. But on top of the movement, the early game routing was going a little bit better for Team Partners in Prime as well. And they did grab the all-important space jump for Echoes, as well as Echoes boost before the death. So Luca's been in really strong shape relative to Nai for most of this race. Yeah, Dave's about to start running out of things to do. We need this Ice Beam to turn up, and unfortunately, Echoes has a lot of the game world open and no translators to get any additional hints. Gosh, we are going up to 8 artifacts, though. I think the last one we've not seen yet is an ATS. At that point, Dacian could already do Ridley, which is kind of insane this early on. Oh, now we did actually find Thermal for real this time in Taurus Grove. Chat for pointing that out. The aerial training site is in Logic right now. We could head all the way up there. It would take quite some time on Lucarius' side here to get up there. Not sure we would necessarily want to beeline it, but it is like a way to get your Prime player able to do something. But really, we want that Ice Beam, and we want it very soon. And so that, again, could be another way for Team Nizy to get back into this. If they happen to spike that Ice Beam early, could be a relatively large advantage. Because before too long, Faizi is going to finish up the remaining wave checks. There's not that much Faizi has left to do. We have to do labs, we have to do Thardis, workstation. Faizi has already done Flagra. Ooh, now almost getting that Instant Morph first, right? Okay, Paul Brown did. Gonna switch to the screw attack method. Gets that second try. Very nice. Gravity making the quick kill on Flagra just a little bit easier if you mess up and fall in the water. You can easily jump out, get back up to the spots where we can damage the triggers from the outside. We're going to take a look at Boost Guardian here. We got an Aegon key hint. I did not see where those were on Nye's side. How are we going to go get our STK hints on Nye's side? This is a little spicy. Like, there's no checks here we can get in logic, and Faizy is going to be running out of checks soon. The Hive key hint, I'm sorry. Okay, so not that important. No, we're not going to get hints. We are just going to Taurus. I approve. Nope, we're going to go hints since. Right, we don't have supers, so we have to do it this way. Yeah, I'm a big proponent of early hints, especially in solo rando. I like a little less at CGC if your partner doesn't have ice and wave, because that means you're doing this on double time. And so to kind of explain that, so the way these races are scored is the sum of your two players' times. So even if one member on a team finishes first, if the other two then finish quickly and your partner finishes much later, you can still lose the race. And so basically, trying to avoid time where your partner is standing around is very important. Because ideally, you want to, if you can't finish yourself, getting your partner to finish earlier is just as good. Nye is going to spend some time getting hints here. And, well, yeah, once again, just things not quite lining up nicely for Team Nyzy here. Supers come in just after we finish the wall crawl to skip supers. The one nice thing this does for Team Nyzy is it does mean Nye can easily walk out of the hints area and go into the front of the Torvis without having to wall crawl out. Nice first try Seeker skip there from Nye. We're going to grab an ammo refill here, get some more power bombs back. Curious if we'll see a Cash B Chasm wall crawl here. We can wall crawl from Upper Dark to Lower Dark Torvis. Often ends up being a nice little piece of Echo's routing, rather than having to run back to one of the portals in Upper Torvis. Abandoned Work Site is an STK. Magmore Workstation. So I believe those are probably two of the ones that Lucarius already has. Training Chamber for Nye, Lower Torvis. Tower Chamber. Wait, did Faizy not get Tower Chamber? Oh, it was Dace that went up to Storage Cave. That's a bit awkward. No, we have Plasma. Temple Access. Those are not bad keys. Did I miss some? I maybe missed the first set, because that did not feel like enough STKs. So yeah, we really do not need much. Hat was an STK, okay. Yeah, ATS is accessible, and that's the only artifact. And it looked like most of the STKs that were hinted were not really locked by much. We might just be in Ice and Phazon go mode here. And yeah, Luca, nice Cash B Chasm wall crawl here. We can move straight from Upper into Lower Torvis routing. What do we have down here in under Temple Access? It's just a missile. Gonna opt to skip the Powerbomb Guardian fight for now. There are 2 checks down there, but that fight is a little slow. I think I would do it here. Is Lower Torvis in logic at all? Maybe it's not. It's not. No, Lower Torvis isn't really in logic at all. So yeah, no, I think we do just use this as a method to enter Sank. I don't think we really want to be spending any time down here as Luca, because our prime player is out of logical things to do until Ice Beam turns up, and we need more items for Upper Torvis, for Lower Torvis to be in logic. I do not like this Grapple Guardian fight. Am I wrong? Surely this is not in logic, right? We need grab or seekers to do anything in Lower Torvis, aside from the main hub room. We can get the first check of Lower Torvis. Ooh, nice kill there, using double damage, skipping the second phase of the fight. That looked intentional. That's actually kind of a cool strat. I don't think I've gone for that before. Prime Spider Ball on the ship. Finally, one piece of progression lead for Team Nizy. Oh yeah, no, Dace did skip Thardus, right? Or did we do Thardus? I know we found Prime Gravity Suit behind Thardus, but I don't remember if Dace ended up doing Thardus afterwards. But yeah, I really do not like Lucaria spending any amount of time down here in Lower Torvis. Like, I don't mind coming down here just as a way to get into Sank, because there's a lot of stuff to do in Sank that's in logic. But Lower Torvis, as far as I'm aware, is completely out of logic. Again, aside from the very first check. Urfazi landing the power bomb to kill Thardus gets a Torvis key. Is that key number 3? Oh baby. Chica available for Nye. Logically, we need Dark Visor to leave, but it can be a vanilla Dark Visor occasionally. Why is he going to grab the gravity suit here? Yeah, I really would like to see Luca bail completely on Lower Torvis here. Dark Aegon key in the hub room, interesting. We may see an air underwater here into a Seeker skip. Wouldn't surprise me at all if Luca goes for that. See air underwater, very nice. And should be able to get to the door here as well. It's going to go ahead and check for a vanilla ice beam, always a annoying possibility as well. A little early on the start button press there, gets an unfortunate pause. We're going to use a super to peek the item down here. Beats me, but looks like Dave's got to look at it. Luca gonna nab the key out of training chamber here. So despite not having the SDK hints, Luca doing a pretty nice job of just kind of stumbling into all of them. And we are indeed bailing on Lower Torvis. So yeah, we spent a little longer here than I would have liked, but not too much in the grand scheme of things. Luca at least avoiding some of the slower checks. Yeah, commanding artifact and SDK lead at this point for our team on the left. 8-4, 6-2. We only need 4 more keys on the team on Partners in Prime side, as well as our Ice Beam and Phazon suit. And Echoes might need nothing, which is wild, actually. We're still missing a lot of progression on Echo's side, but somehow none of it might be actually required. Luca interested in training or transit station here. What do we have? I did not see it through the wall. We have Ice Beam! Oh gosh. Alright, so the world is open for Dacian. And we'll be able to get the Phazon hit soon as well. Luca just needs to get up to ATS. We'll get our last artifact. And I would love to see a Ridley fight as soon as that artifact comes through. And this could be a very jet seed. Like, we're actually very close to being done here. Dropping down for the Quinted fight. I don't really get this. Are we save warping? Oh yeah, yeah. Luca doesn't have hints yet. Yeah. This is totally fine. We're gonna make a pivot save here in Sank. We're gonna grab our SDK hints, and then presumably we'll death warp out of hints and proceed to finish our Sank routing. Yeah, this is great. Yeah, incredibly, like, I think Dace's death cost Partners in Prime 0 time, actually, in the grand scheme of things. I think Dace got everything that was necessary. Like, we would have been a lot earlier to the Echo Supers, but that didn't matter. The Supers came in at exactly the right time for Luca. And then we would have been just standing around waiting for Ice Beam even longer if we had finished our route earlier. So yeah, I don't think that death mattered at all. And so just the lead has reasserted itself here very decisively for Dacian and Luca. Can Team Nizy find a way back into this? It really would almost rely on... Nine needs to go straight for that Ice Beam, and we need to stumble into Phazon, I think. That's really the only way at this point. So we need Nai to go to Sank right now. And like, even if we do, we have to loop all the way through Upper Sank and down to get to that Ice Beam. And that's not the way we're heading. This looks like Torvus again. Oh, interesting. So Luca, did we make the save and then not play hits? Did we decide maybe we want ATS first? I kind of agree with that. Like, the Phazon suit hint is actually super important here. Oh, there we go. Luca's signature trick. Somehow, some way, that gets me every time. I cannot do that trick for the life of me. Dodging all those, like, those arms will knock you out of screw attack if you hit any of them, and they're swirling around like crazy. That's a cool trick. Dace sticking around here. Honestly, I don't really like this from Dace. I think Dace should be rushing. Oh, we don't have the key hints. Right. Never mind. You're fine, Dace. I'm using my forbidden knowledge that I acquired from Nai getting the SDK hints. But I was gonna say, yeah, it'd be nice if Dacian should just be prioritizing artifacts or SDKs, but we don't have that info yet. Instead, I think what we're gonna see is Dace is going to fight Ridley while Lucarius gets SDK hints, and then both runners collectively will know everything they need to do. And that's actually going to sync up really nicely. Having a little bit of trouble here in Watch Station. See if we can get this Sense Morph second try. And we get the backup onto the spider track, which is honestly my preferred method. I'm going to go for the Autologic Seeker skip here to get down to Mineshaft. Going to see that the Spider Ball was hinted, which is a little unfortunate. I'm always kind of annoyed when I spike a cool item in a bad location and then realize it was just hinted. Because that, again, could still have been a big advantage for Team Nizy here. If Luca did not get pointed to that Spider Ball. There is artifact number 9 for Dacian. Looks like we're going to see Life Grove stuff first here before we head over to Ridley. And a light suit for Luca. ATS loaded today, 2 for 2 progression. Seekers and Great Tree Chamber, oh my gosh. And gravity boost. Alright, so the odds that the Phazon suit is locked by something else have just diminished drastically. Dark Visor, Echo Annihilator still outstanding, so those could be all potentially required for Go mode if they are locking Phazon suits. I am very interested to find out what region Phazon suit is in. And it looks like Dacian is as well. Gonna quit out of the Life Grove area because we didn't get any progression for ourselves. And this will take us back, presumably, to our ship save. Go fight Ridley while Luca is also presumably gonna maybe make a pivot save here. But in either case, head to our Sky Temple Gateway hints. Yeah, I mean, Phazon suit and Phazon mines, certainly not unlikely here. We have not seen any mines checks from either runner so far. Whereas every other region of the game has at least been partially explored. Yeah, we will be finding out in just a minute here. We have ETM and Defiled Shrine. Not going to be too interested in that. If Faizi goes for the peak here as well for all the elders, it looks like we're just going to head on out and check that vanilla ice beam location. That is in the right spot. We are eventually going to make our way to the ice beam. Unfortunately, it's kind of at the conclusion of the Sank loop, so we'll still be a couple more minutes. Faizi going to be starting to run out of things to do. And so again, this is where I think that playing for the early Sky Temple key hints kind of bites you, because if you hadn't made that play earlier, you would have been farther along in this Sank loop by now, and your ice beam might have turned up a little better timed for Faizi here. And actually, like, because now Faizi might, if Faizi got ice beam now, we'd probably see the Life Grove area play, and we just saw there's a ton of progression there. At this point, now who knows where Faizi's going to be standing, waiting for this ice beam to turn up. Because there are a lot of places you can wait for it. Oh, come on, Daystream. I really want to see this Phazon suit. This would be tragic. Oh, no. No! I need to know. I'm like actually going to dive their VOD and find out where this key is. It is way too important. Yeah, we just missed it. Unfortunate. Pardon me while I look into the past. Alright, just a second. I will see it on the VOD. Phazon suit is in Phazon Mines. So Lucaris is like done? Which is kind of insane, actually. Were there any SDKs left for Luca in Echoes? So actually, Dacian should just be chasing the Sky Temple keys here. If this is a Phazon Mines dive, I don't remember there being any SDKs in Phazon Mines. Oh, Storage Depot B. Okay, no, this is fine. Yeah, we do hat. We go into mine or into labs or into mines. Jesus. into labs, we grab storage depot B, we head straight through PPC, and then go to Farfen for storage cave. Then we come back to mines, I think. We could even leave a save in somewhere in mines to come back to. Maybe just save in main quarry. I don't hate that. Yeah, Lucarius is just done. Lucarius could spend time looking around for Prime Spider Ball, just because that would save Dace a little bit of trouble in lower mines. MQA in particular is a little bit annoying to have to do without Spider Ball in hand. As we know from Team Nizy, Spider Ball is chilling on the GFMC ship, which Luca has not been back to after killing Jump Guardian. Or, well, not been back to after having Space Jump, I guess, more precisely. Is he going to go for the IBBF wall crawl here? Not sure what we're doing with it, because we've already been over there. But that Ice Beam should be coming in just another minute or two, as Nye completes this Sank loop here. I'm gonna play for this key in ATS, open up the watch station portal. Yeah, we already have the hat key out of the way. Now let's see how much of mines we do. I personally would like to do almost none of it except things that are directly on path here and getting the SDKs. I kind of suspect that is what we will end up seeing. Pivot safe here I do like though. This way after we finish storage cave, we can take a reset, come back here, and start cleaning up mines looking for our phase on suit. But again, the priority here is getting Echoes to finish. The score for the team is the sum of the two racers' times. So if we, as soon as we get those Sky Temple keys, Lucarius can finish, and that stops the clock for one of the runners, which is definitely going to improve the combined sum of times for this team. We have a Dark Visor, which we actually, yeah, we don't even care about that. Dacian gonna leave the visor chilling there. That might have actually been kind of nice. Oh, this is, yeah, heads up play from Luca. We saw those main Prime power bombs much earlier. There was never really much urgency to come back and get these because, for the most part, Prime can do everything it needs on one power bomb. But getting through lower mines on one power bomb does actually kind of suck. So coming back for the main PBs that we saw much earlier, really smart routing here from Lucarius. A good way to use the time that we would otherwise kind of be standing around waiting for the keys to come in here. At this point, though, I think we do probably want to start making our way to Sky Temple grounds. It shouldn't take Dacian that much longer to make it over to through mines up into Farfen and the storage cave. And we may indeed just see a save warp here from Luca. Luca, fellow Lightbringer hater, we love it. Ooh, Fezzi takes a down here in Furnace Access. The weird looking room from out of bounds. Of course, the dream scenario is that Fazen's just chilling in something like Boombox here, ECA. Looks like unfortunately it was not. I don't mind taking a very quick peek at PPC here. We are indeed going to do that. That is not the suit either. So up we go. Let's go get our Echoes player done and out of here. And alright, it does finally track down the ice beam, so Faizi is free to explore the rest of the game world. Faizi already does know where all the remaining STKs are. Gosh, somehow they're still only at 3 and can't tell if that's 5 or 6. But yeah, quite a ways behind on the key collection hunt here. And yep, Luca standing outside of Final Boss is gonna wait just a minute here for Dacian to. Yeah, we don't have Spider. Oh yeah, so this is another reason that the pivot save from Dacian was actually really smart. Is we don't have Spider, so getting back up to upper mines would have required us to do the spiderless shafts tricks, which are not straightforward. We may still end up needing to do the MQA dash to skip Spider there, but at least we don't need to do all of the bad Spider skip strats from our NA% run. Yeah, Dace, no interest in Spider, is confident that we can skip Spider if we need to. Not even going to look at any other checks, we are just heading straight for that artifact. Or the STK, I mean. And there we go, there is key number 9 for Lucarius, who is free to go fight final bosses. As soon as the key comes through. There it does. Alright. No finishes yet from anyone in the race time. Luca in decent shape to be the first individual finish time here. Final boss is pretty quick on the Echo side, only 3 or 4 minutes. Dacian still needs to track down the Phazon suit that we know is somewhere in Phazon Mines. We can do every check in Phazon Mines. Logically, we need Spider for some of it, but worst case, we will full clear mines if we have to. So yeah, nothing of value left in Lucarius' seed, or nothing required. The Spider may still have been nice, but we will never find it. So it is not in Security Access A. We're going to do the Upper Mines loop first. Makes a lot of sense to me. Even if the suit is always just in Lower Mines, because it always is in Lower Mines. But we're up here. We would have to do Spiderless Shafts if we're wrong. E-Tank there. Yeah, the Prime E-Tanks really never showed up, huh? We're still sitting on 3, which is like not great for Lower Mines here. I don't expect either of these players to really be that worried about only having 3 E-Tanks. Gotta play things a little bit safe, but I trust that these two could handle the slightly low E-Tank situation here in Phazon Mines. As he does track down the Seekers, not that it seems like the Seekers really will do much for us this seat. They are logically required to access final bosses, however. I looked away, and Luca is already done with Emperor. Must have been a pretty good fight, because that felt pretty fast. There's the grab as well. Coming through for 9. And yeah, so the Team Nizy doing a nice job collectively of rushing all of the remaining artifacts. Faizi is already up to 7, so should be able to get that Phazon soon hit quickly. The issue just is the SDK collection's been really slow. Not sure where some of them. Nai is really missing a lot of them. I don't know where they all were, but Nai has this few so far, or already. One is about to show up here from Hat once Faizi gets done with bar skip. Yeah, no phase on Suit and Upper Mines today. It's going to be down in the basement. Dacian will head down there. And nice DS from Lucarius. That is a G. Time again will stop for the team once Dacian finishes. But one of the stopwatches has stopped running, so good situation to be in. Why is he having a little bit of trouble with bar skip here today? Here's one of the remaining artifacts. Not sure exactly where the last one is. It's not quite getting me the quick strat through this room. The climb on the right side is definitely noticeably harder than climbing on the left. But it is faster, if done optimally. Elite Pyro gets one missile to the face for being slightly uncooperative here. Looks like Dacian gonna go for the backup strat here. Lose a decent amount of health. Yeah, these are some good crates to get some health pickups. Indeed, there's almost an entire E-tank worth of red drops. I see, still working on bar skip here. I believe in you. You got this. Oh, very close. I think. Why is he not using boost? I think like that last. Oh man, either of these last two attempts, I think boost would have done it for us. Oh, that one too. Oh, come on, use boost! Use the boost to chase. Or use the boost to get through. Oh, we're so close. You got this, Fizzy. Plaza Access was another key, so now I'm going to grab something else here as well. I don't remember if this was Primer Echoes. Oh, Phase One was Event Shaft. Alright, so we're almost done here on Dace's site. We're going to need to take care of the drone to unlock the save station, do the maze. Again, also unlock the save station. But then we are ready to save warp and make our way to start fighting Prime Final bosses. Well, not as bad as things could have been. Didn't actually end up needing to do all that much of Lower Mines. Not look like the best maze. In fact, some might even call that maze pretty bad. No ship dash today, unfortunately. But can quickly wrap around the intended way through the room. Visy into mines as well. Gonna find that Dark Visor. Without the hint, they do not know that the Dark Visor is potentially useful. Although, wait, Visy not checking? Oh, interesting. Do they know something I don't? Yeah, pretty jet seed. We did almost none of Sank or Phase on Mines. The only kind of bad thing was Echo Space Jump in Chosen of Ice Temple. But the stuff to get there turned up relatively easily, or relatively early. Ice Beam and Transit Station, unhinted, not great. Luca got there fairly early, but it definitely took nigh a minute. But no, really just things clicked really well for Theme Partners in Prime today on the left. Good movements, good timing of items coming through. Dace did take a death that looked really bad at the time, like probably about an 8-minute time loss, but Dace had gotten everything that was of value in that sphere, and so really that death only just meant less time standing around waiting for Ice Beam to turn up at the end. So it really didn't hurt their team like at all. Fortunately, a Wave Beam first phase here usually bodes poorly for the rest of the phases. Echo and MQA, Annihilator in Upper Elite Research. Yeah, no need to grab that Annihilator. Luca was probably already done with the I2 or EI1 by the time we found that Annihilator, if not just done in general. Faizy may also just be kind of rushing the STKs here. I would not hate... we have 9, so I wouldn't hate trying to get the Ridley fight out of the way. We do have another finish in the race time room. Cestrian, the Echoes player, playing with Jay today, has wrapped up the 130. Dace then has 7 minutes from whenever Cestrian's partner finishes up to secure the first place overall score today. Seems fairly likely, so I think Partners in Prime very well positioned to take first overall in this race today, as well as first on the restream. And yeah, Faizy is pushing straight through mines, gonna go over to Storage Cave, grab that SDK that's over there. Still am not entirely sure which other STKs Nai is missing. Training Chamber may well have been one of them. That should be coming up as Nai is clearing Lower Torvis here. Nice hat as well, another key. So yeah, suddenly they are really close in keys. Like this right, yeah, like they did a nice job actually with the cleanup. I thought they were much farther behind than they were, but they've done a good job running in all the keys very quickly once all the items kind of end up coming through. I is going into Lower Torvis here. I don't remember if anything important was down here though. But yeah, until we need Faizy to get this this Ridley fight done with. It looks like yeah, we might be taking a pivot save. Well, I don't even know if it's really worth ever taking pivot saves for the Ridley fight. It's kind of quick enough to get around anywhere in the game world that I don't know that it's worth fighting Ridley twice to avoid having to walk back. Maybe the one exception being Central Dynamo, or God forbid, MQB if you haven't done Omega Pirate yet. Yeah, Ridley fight incoming here for Faizy while Dacian enters Metroid Prime Essence. Good attack cancels there from Dacian. Cool number 2. With all translators all visors in hand. this fight a little more easy to optimize. Attack cancels again. Lead up the next pool. See if we switch to pool cancels on the third phase and try to wrap this up in 3 pools. Coming up. Looks like it is. Very nice. Get your GGs in chat. Team partners in prime. Dacian and Lucarius take first on the race room and first overall out of the 7 teams in the race room. Well done, GGs. We'll invite both runners in for an interview. They've not gotten any forfeits yet from Team Nizy, so we will let them play on. They are fairly close to wrapping up, so I'm happy to stick around with them, play it out, and if they want to hop in an interview afterwards as well, we can do that. One more hit here on Ridley should do. Oh boy, that was what a wombo combo! Holy, what is happening? What the heck was that? That was actually insane. That is maybe the worst Ridley dash pattern I've ever seen in my life. Somehow, like, completely trapping Nye in the corner for like 10 seconds, dealing almost 3 E-tanks worth of damage, which is all of our health, by the way. We still only have 2 E-tanks on Nice or on Faizi's side. Alright. Aha! We are joined by our winners today. Dacian, Lucarius, welcome in. GG's.
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 GG's, yeah. Nicely played overall. The only kind of hiccup was the death, which I ended up thinking, like, I don't think that cost you literally any time. Like, I think that would have just meant
That
you
was
stood around.
very, very lucky.
Yeah. Yeah, you got exactly.
I was just destroyed after that. I thought it was GG. But apparently
I could feel, like, not only the death, but then the level of tilt you get for this running out of missiles in
yeah, early world. I did yes. It was all falling apart.
That's where it's nice to have like Luca in BC be like, it's fine, I'm sure.
Exactly. I was like, you got this, we got this, don't worry. And then we got bailed out by that evil ice beam, unhinted and everything. Oh, yeah, so bad.
Bad ice beam. Yeah, but they're outworked pretty well. Like, it sounds like Sestrian played Sank first, but honestly, I don't know if you were going to be that much slower to ice, just because, like, ice comes in at the very start of your Sank route when you enter from Torvis.
Yeah.
So that worked out pretty decently. I was very worried. So Nye, the way the seed played out for Nye, it made a lot of sense to do Hazing Cliff really early. Whereas the seed started to open up for you, and I was worried like you weren't going to play Spider's Treasure without Spider. Yes. Once you had like Torvis access. That hint was so good in Mining Station D. That was really
that
good.
hint. To be fair, we kind of pieced together the logic, because at one point we were like, okay, we need main PBs on the. We need prime main PBs to get prime bombs, and prime bombs gets us literally everything else. And we were like, okay, right. that's locked behind Spider, and we both said we full cleared. So we were like, something's missing. And at some point, I'm like, oh, Hazen Cliff. So we're like, okay, that's fine, 100%. And then,
Oh,
yeah,
that's smart.
yeah, and then I got the hint anyway before going there. But yeah, so that happened.
Yeah, I didn't catch on to that. Yeah, and like heads up play, remembering the PBs late game, like going to get those while you were waiting for SDKs was a heads up play as well.
Yeah, exactly. And then I was kind of hitting myself a little bit because you get a burger literally right before that, and you have plenty of health. So I was like, why didn't I go Spicy Treasure earlier? But luckily, did not matter at all. Didn't punish us.
Yep. Yeah. So,
It was very
so in terms
funny
of the,
clearing for. Oh, go ahead.
sorry, go ahead, please.
It was funny clearing for the SDKs and just finding everything in mines.
Yeah.
Emerald, Dark Visor, just everything.
God.
Yeah, and even like Life Grove being loaded, but loaded with things that were completely unnecessary to beat the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, very friendly key and artifact locations for sure. Yeah, so the early game you guys took a bit of a lead. Nye kind of spent a little more time waffling around Temple Grounds, like played Temple Assembly side out of Logic, and then the bombs came in, which was Comm area, and then Hive Chamber B, and like all that led to y'all being a bit earlier to Morph Ball. And then similarly, you were probably 10 minutes earlier to the space jump.
Ooh.
And so that really set Nye back. And then just the little CGC things where it's like your supers come in when you're in Torvus Temple. Nye's supers come in the second he warps inbounds after abandoned base wall crawl. It's like,
oh no, dude!
Classic CGC. Like,
that's the worst.
Yep. It's the same. Like Dace started to do the main plaza out of bounds, and then Morph Ball came in. Faizy got out of bounds, and then Morph Ball came in. Oh no! Just the little things were not quite clicking for them today, but it was...
Yeah, I think it was landing site. I was about to do that out of bounds, and then Morph Ball dropped. So I was like, yeah.
Yep. Oh man. Always.
Yeah, really well played.
It looked super jet, like a good seed, but then just slowed down super hard.
Yeah. That ice was just so evil, because on the Echo side, you've had every single hint. I hadn't, so I was a bit nervous, but after clearing all the hints at the end, I knew that it was unhinted, and then, yeah, you just kind of have to go full clear Lamau and find it.
Mm-hmm.
Which I wasn't too worried as well, because, like you said, Sestron probably went Sank first. But it's like at the end of the Sank loop. It's like the last item you check, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't too worried about that.
I was a little bit... Oh, go ahead.
Which key is Nye missing? Which SDK?
Oh.
I'm assuming probably the fun one.
I thought Faizy played for that. Yeah, I don't understand actually what's going on here.
They did find the phase suit though, so...
I think what's going on is that Faizy grabbed the storage B key just now, but because Nye is paused, it says 8 on his tracker because he hasn't received it. So he might just have them, but not realize.
Ah, fair.
Yeah, otherwise it would be a little odd for Faizy to be down here without having grabbed all the keys first. Like, it does make sense to get the keys.
Might be either AFK for a second, or there's some other key that we've missed. That,
Although, I mean, this room's blue. So maybe we haven't been up... Oh, no, this is...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, maybe we've not
Yeah, so it hasn't been to defend then. Yeah.
So actually, this routing worked out. This probably actually saves time overall, even like doing veg shaft on double time to avoid having to quit out of Fen. But yeah,
that was our reasoning.
Yeah.
So you want to have one game finished and then look for that phase on suit, because otherwise you're technically on like double time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Luca was rooting for OP.
Yeah. Yeah, could have been. The Phazon does love being down there.
Yeah, with that X-ray being available so early, I was like, yes, give it to us.
Yeah. So yeah, the only thing they found that you all didn't, I don't know if you saw it in credits, but Spider Ball was GFMC ship for Prime.
Oh. I did a Baja. Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, it's so hard to justify going back there twice. So like you went through,
Yeah.
you didn't have space jump, you got most everything done. Like it's so out of the way. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess the other justification at that point is you have space, crew, and main PBs in logic. So you have GFMC ship plus the wind chambers. I never checked those.
That's true. Yeah. And like if Emerald turns up, then you get a hint over there. That's not bad either.
Yeah, that's what I was rooting for. I was just kind of hoping that Emerald would show up at some point, and then you loop it in. But, well, Seed was evil, so nope.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, GG's Jay finishing up. So that is Jay and Sestran finishing second place overall out of the 7 teams. GG's for them.
17, so that's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a huge CGC. I'm super excited.
Big turnout. Super nice.
Sestran asking, I actually missed exactly what happened to it. It sounded like it like Rune's West Axis or something. The She-Gods were bowling, or Ice Rune's West.
Oh yeah, so it was Icerune's west, correct?
Mhm.
I was just not paying too much attention, and then I dropped low, and I was like, I'll go save, and then just got sniped in the back of the head.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a weird, like, Echoes got up to, I think Luca had 5 E-tanks in
Yeah.
6 minutes or something, like, and then Prime has to toast their toes to get a single E-tank in Magmore.
Yeah, and I think I saw 2 E-tanks, but they were like PB locked, and I had 1 PB at the time, so I couldn't grab them.
Mm-hmm.
But they luckily didn't punish me too hard.
Yeah. Yeah, at least getting the Space Champ and the boost for Luca, and that being like, there being basically nothing else blocked by Wave and the Seed that was important, aside from, like, you made it to the Supers in time.
I was scared Icerune's West was going to be like Emerald, because in that case we are dusted.
Yeah, that's GG if that's Emerald.
Yeah.
To be fair, I walk-rolled past the Emerald Gate anyway, so it didn't really matter too much, but just the hints would have been... Yeah, because I kind of wonder where that ice was hinted from the Emeralds.
Yeah, it probably was, but, like, where... Did we see Cobalt in the credits?
Yeah, it's in Sank somewhere.
Ugh, gross.
Okay. It was in Catwest.
Okay. God, that's such a awkward place for Cobalt to show up to.
At the end of the whole Sank loop as well.
I get to loop all the way around if I want hints.
Yep. That's probably what ended up happening for people who did do Sank first, is they first do the whole loop, find ice, and then you find Cobalt as well, so you do the whole loop again to get all the hints there. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
Bad seed.
But no, yeah, really well played. Like, yeah, the routing seemed really good to me. I think the only thing I was a little critical of was doing, like, any checks in Lower Torbus, because it was out of logic.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have fought Grapple Guardian. The strat was cool, though, actually. Was that, like, intentional to, like, skip the second phase with Light Beam? Ah, that's cool.
That is intentional, yes.
Yeah.
There's like so the name is Grapple Guardian, and then on the A, if you can like get its health to where it's like just on the A of Grapple Guardian, and then you pump a full shotgun with double damage Light Beam into him, he'll most likely skip that final phase.
Yeah, it might be dependent on, like, how the beams spread and make sure they all land in time before he gets invincible. But yeah, that was really cool. I don't think I'd actually seen that before.
It is neat, and it is pretty tight as well.
Mm-hmm. And I is on Emperor Ing, and Faizi going to be heading to Impact Crater as well with Ridley down, so not too far behind. We did have a finish from Cat Human. G's to that team. Who's Cat Human playing with today?
Storm, I believe.
Yeah. They are in a bit of a foot race with that team to finish in 3rd or 4th. Although, who knows, maybe some other teams will snipe us during our final boss fights as well.
Yeah.
Be close sometimes. Oh, no. Yeah, I have not been playing that many seeds with double damage recently, so I could see getting tripped up by overkilling. Ooh, very nice first screw attack from. Oh, I thought that was
How
going to
did
be
that
an
not
instant
kill?
kill there.
Oh, sliver. That's yeah, nice.
Yeah, still a good EI3. That was almost an amazing EI3.
Yeah, perfect EI2 as well. EI1 almost perfect. Just missed the one super, but didn't matter because of double damage.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Also, another like just CGC things is I had just done the Dark Samus 3 phase with Dark Beam, and then Annihilator shows up literally a second later after. One of those like,
Yep. Good content.
Yep. What's also good content is the frame perfect boost above the Boost Guardian arena, and then you just get the boost text on the screen and just stays there.
Ah, nice.
Use
Yeah, I always go for that, even though I shouldn't, because it makes it more likely that you like unmorph too early and fall back in the half pipe. But
yeah,
it's
completely accidental, but yeah.
Nice.
And I just heard from Days as well that if you frame perfect skip the what is it, the main PB
Central
puzzle?
Dynamo.
Yeah, that you can like move around in the cutscene. I'd never seen that either.
I didn't know that either. That's cool.
Good content.
I'm gonna go for the double damage dark beam strats here. Looks like to avoid getting centered.
Nice.
Good
strat. It's
Yeah,
not,
it's a good
but
strat.
it's nice.
There we go.
Gee.
G's for 9. 6th overall in the individual. Looks like 4.5 minutes behind Cat Humans, so Isaac will have to have some pretty good final bosses here, or Storm will have to have been. I mean, like I guess if Storm had to go all the way to Vent Shaft from Storage Cave, like if they routed the keys first, then maybe this is actually fairly close. Because it would take a few minutes that Faizy wouldn't have had to bother with to get from Storage Cave back to the Vent Shaft. Or particularly, I mean, because Storm might even have to route like Dace did. Like if you leave that pivot save in Upper Mines, which felt really good to me. You might even do
really
elite
good.
research and stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you don't know spotless shafts, you also have to do that. Because else you gotta go around.
True. Yep.
Because no spider.
But we talk about all that, and Storm finishes up. So GG's. That is a 3rd place finish for Cat Human and Storm. Nicely done.
Oh.
No. Marion finishing up as well. GG's. Clicking the wrong button first, though.
Yep.
Yeah, it could be a tight finish now for 4th versus 5th place between who's Marion with Frigid. Frigid versus Nye and Faizy. Into Subchamber 4, of course we get a wave phase, because why not? And even though we're staying back, we're extra good side there. Okay, finally. Get to something we can. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. We love we love EXO. We get something good now? Yeah, we like Plasma. Actually, not really opted for the melee manipulations. We could get another color change coming up here. We gotta watch these Plasmorphs too. We don't have much health. Actually, yeah, we really do not want to tank one of those.
Yeah. 3 suits is making it a little bit nicer, but still don't want to take damage. Again, he's almost done. Should be fine.
One more cycle, I think.
How much damage do those orbs do on 3 suits?
I'm not exactly sure.
I would reckon around 60 maybe? Or is that
Even
too
with-
much?
Even with the dot? I would think the dot does more. Yeah, I would guess it's almost an E-tank if you get hit.
Ooh. So 2 of those in a cutscene is
Yeah.
not a lot of spare health.
Nope, I was wrong. There's 2 more phases left. Now 1. Oh, we get a nice gold drop from the orbs if we do hover that in. If I see not hovering that in, but it's fine. We should get some extra health to start of essence anyways. Looks like Faizy did not get the thermal visor, so we will be doing single visor essence, but again, if you're only going to have one, plasma, or sorry, X-ray is probably the one you want.
Oh, they didn't get the thermal. I assume Nai did bar skip then instead?
Yes, Nai did bar skip to get over to the plaza access.
That makes sense. That is the faster method of getting that. I didn't because A, I hate that skip, and B, it was like ISIS at large, so I might as well clear the rest. That's over there.
Faizy's a YOLO two pool or bust player here on Essence. Although that's gonna be hard with thermal coming out, or with no thermal. Maybe he's just planning to go for like a 3 pool, get only a little bit dead damage here, and then just do a really nice visible phase.
Good plan. He did get it over half.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Faizy's very good at the attack cancels, or the pool cancels, sorry. Where are you? We have a finish from Frigid, so
Nice.
Marian, Frigid, that team has finished up, but 4th place still up for grabs if Faizy can finish enough, given that Nai finished before Marian. There's a couple minutes here. Some good pool cancels should do it for us here. Oh. I forgot that pressing the done button a little bit early kills all the audio. So we'll have to imagine the sound of it being shot by Phazon here. But spoilers. Faizy does finish with 156. 19. We will get invites out to them as well. Quick mental math. I think that is good for a 4th place overall finish out of the 7 teams.
Pfizer, you pressed
Nai,
undone.
Faizy.
Was that intentional?
Oh. No, it was not.
Oh, you were you almost gave up 4th place there in race time. But yeah, that should be good for 4th overall. GG's, I see done.
GG's.
Jeez. Prime is pain.
Prime is pain. Oh gosh, yeah. Just so. Yeah, what all was I saying? So it was like the early game routing. Partners in Prime got a little bit ahead just by Luca driving straight into Aegon and then being first to the morph ball by a few minutes. And then similarly, that kind of snowballed a little bit more by the time Space Jump came in. That was probably Dace was probably like 10 minutes ahead to Space Jump. So they were off to a pretty good start. Nai did get the early game advantage of diving Hazing Cliff early for Spider, which I thought was potentially going to be pretty big, until I realized that my brain was too small, and actually you could piece together that logically with the power bombs and the prime bombs logic. And then from there, yeah, Ice Beam was bad. No hints, just gotta clear everything, which kind of sucked. Luca's route through Cashby Chasm into the Sank from the back, or from the from Vault side, ended up being pretty effective as well. and get into the ice beam early.
Yeah.
But honestly, y'all did a nice job. Like around when they were starting to enter final bosses, it looked like you guys were really far behind, like in terms of like the key collection count. But like y'all did the cleanup very quickly, and so it ended up being closer than I kind of expected at the time.
I mean, mostly that was me not entering turbos
mhm.
like at all.
Yeah, there were a lot of.
I wanted to clean up Aegon because I was like, okay, because of early game we are super far behind. I'm gonna go check all the isolated checks to stuff in Aegon, and then I'm gonna go to Sync early and pray that Ice Beam's there, because if it's not there and it's in turbos, well, we already lose anyway.
Mhm.
So I was just taking all the risk plays.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, gotta look for your outs. And yeah, no, it looked like I was hopeful that like Spider was gonna be one, but yeah, it ended up being both hinted directly and kind of able to piece together if you were paying attention to the logic.
How about that Chicka bait?
So what was that fight?
Chicka bait.
Chicka bait. I never actually saw. Was that hinted at all, or just like the fact that all the keys came in?
It was a Cobalt then, yeah.
Was it cool?
Because I never got
I
that hint.
don't. No, I did. I did get it. I saw Chica was that. I think it was me and Reese. No, I didn't have it. I didn't check any Cobalt hints. It was a Violet hint, I think. Remember? I don't remember. But I did see it.
I think Quad was a Violet.
Quad was Violet, yeah.
And then I almost died on Ridley because he would not stop charging.
No.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, you took like
I'm going in with 2 E's, no face on, so it's 20%. He hurt.
Yeah, I could not believe how many times he hit you in a row. I really thought you were dead. I'm glad that it wasn't actually a death, because that would have been a really stupid way for that fight to go.
Yeah, and then us reading the hint for face on, and it's like, it's in face on mine. So I'm like, oh no. And I just like, oh no.
Of course it is, right? It's the one region we've not explored at all. Doesn't rule out any checks.
And then it's like, you know what? Let me go ahead and go to the top of mine. I'll just do a pivot save there and go down instead of going to Magmar to go to Storage Cave like a smart person.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, hey, let me check Vent Shaft real quick. Just take a peek real quick. That's never screwed me over before. And what do you know? It's right there.
Yeah, that actually ended up working out pretty well for you. That might have actually been the difference between y'all and the next team, Marian and Frigid, I think, was not having to backtrack back into mines from Fen, because I'm guessing that's what most of the teams would have done there. But yeah, no, the play worked out.
And then surprise Emerald and Boombox.
Yeah, it was weird how loaded, like, Life Grove just loaded with things that were completely unnecessary. Like,
basically.
Yeah, both teams, like, that was the first stuff you did with Ice Beam, and it was just like, oh my gosh, suddenly we have so much progression.
And then, how about that Wave Buster, though? Did y'all see where it was?
Where was that?
Hive Entrance.
Oh!
It was Hive Entrance Wave Buster. It was Ice Spreader, Tortoise Lagoon, Flamethrower Feeding Pit.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Okay, that was Flamethrower and Feeding Pit. Yeah, I saw Knight checking that, but I could not tell what that was.
Yeah, we already had supers, so
Mhm.
it had to be Flamethrower.
And then I was getting mad at Nye a couple of times because it's like, I'm going to go do this thing. Start doing the thing. Hey, I found Wave. God damn it, Nye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as I got out of bounds, he found Wave and he was like, God damn it, Nye.
And same, like, Morph Ball. Like, if Morph Ball came in 10 seconds earlier, you don't have to reset. If Super's coming in a minute earlier, Nye gets to skip the wall crawl. Like, yeah, it was. I was commenting that when Luca Days come in, that it was like, their stuff with their timings were really clicking well today. Like supers came in right when Luca was in Torva's temple and that kind of stuff, and then it was very much the opposite for y'all.
Yeah.
They start doing a thing or be about to finish things. Like, here you go, the thing you wanted for this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
the control tower as Nai is finishing a wall crawl.
Yeah, we're lucky.
Sam rolled a content seed. Gotcha. That answers my question earlier.
You sure did.
At least I had a friend as a good artist, at least, with just one PB.
Mm-hmm.
Because I went in with only one PB, intending to save it for the last part, because that's miserable. His first part went well. Got two part breaks while he's still rolling. And then just clean him up with the power bomb.
Mm-hmm.
And then that took me to the workstation key. And then lost all the time that I saved because we just could not do bar skip.
Yeah,
and we forgot that hat was an artist, was a key.
Yeah, it was a bit unfortunate.
Yeah,
I do recommend boost. Like I was a boost hater for bar skip, but like there was a stretch where I think you had like 3 or 4 attempts in a row that would have worked if you used boost at the top.
Yeah.
Boost does definitely make it more lenient.
Yeah, it was. This seemed bad.
Yeah, unhinted ice beam when the whole Echoes game world is open is like my nightmare scenario.
Yeah. Echoes got everything they need to explore their world relatively quick, and it's like, what about Prime?
Mm-hmm. I enjoyed. Is there a strat for CMS NSJ, or were you just trying to cook something there, Nai? Is there a strat for Central Mining Station NSJ?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there is.
Oh,
there
God.
are 2 of them, actually.
There is. Yeah.
Both expert tricks, both very bad, and I almost got it like 5 times.
Yeah, you were close.
It's a bad bomb jump into NSJ like jump, right?
Yeah, you break the skip.
Very good. Right? Yeah.
And BSJ and
yeah.
BSJ up top. It's a free BSJ into an SA.
Oh. Okay, that's harder than I thought what it was. Okay.
Yeah, this one's a triple one. I don't think 2 BSA makes it.
Dang.
Yeah, it looked like the exact level of awful where I'm like, I don't know if this is someone trying to cook or if this is like a really bad trick.
No, I've done it. I've
I've seen it.
I've had space jump there before.
Yeah.
I've done it. It sucks so much. But the E-dash is arguably worse.
Wait, there's an E-dash to get it?
Yeah, you dash from the turret? Yeah, you can E-dash that NSJ.
Does that run have an open ceiling? Could you just like Robert all the way there?
Honestly, I probably had enough time to do that.
I'm
Is
sorry.
that ceiling open? I don't think it is. Is it?
It is open ceiling, I believe.
Oh. I need to learn,
just-
Robert. There's so many applications for it. It's insane.
It's nice to know just because like it means you're never in DK, but like every time I do Robert and CGC, I will immediately get progression.
I mean,
That is true.
To
If
be
I had
fair,
attempted that, I would have had space jump like the moment I went out of bounds there.
we also had screw attack by that point, so you could just go in the secret vault in command center access.
Oh, true. Yeah.
That's doable, NSA. It actually easier.
Huh?
Which...
Command Center Access has a... I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. Of course there is, but I've never seen that.
I mean, I have an entire playlist of secret worlds.
Lordy. Of course he would. One of these days, we'll get Days from Lucarius. This was supposed to be our salty run back.
Oh, yeah, true.
Because y'all were the ones that knocked us out.
Right.
Yeah.
True.
We'll have our vengeance yet. on a seed that's friendlier.
Yes.
Yeah, one of these
Yeah,
days. I think Jay is also on the hunt.
Yeah, cool to see a couple top 8 teams matching up again.
Garbage seed, garbage seed.
Yeah. The seed we knocked you guys out with was also
garbage
super
seed.
garbage. Yeah.
I'm gonna do a Yelp against him for this one.
Well, we've been chatting GG's to the Clean Gang, Ammo Genie, and Marker's Mask. Just wrapped up. And it looks like Avina and Astral are close as well. So Avina does need. Looks like they have all the keys, just needing the Phazon suit hint and then Phazon.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think that's all I really had. Any other last minute thoughts on the seed from anybody?
One
Not
star
GG's.
review.
Sounds about right. This has been another Metroid Prime Cross Game Weekly. Stay tuned Saturdays and Sundays for other weekly races. Yeah, GG's again. This Luca, Nai, Faizi. Well played all around. And we will
GG's.
see you all next mission.
Baja, I do have a comment.
Oh, what's up?
The races for the Mentor tournament are starting.
Yes, Metroid Prime Echoes Randomizer Mentor Tournament starts tomorrow. I think our first match is already on the schedule. So yeah, we will be featuring newer Echoes players who are being assisted by a community veteran in VC during the races, trying to get some more folks interested in racing. So yeah, if you ever see it and want to join in future ones, do keep an eye out. I think it's a great way to learn the game or get into racing if you've already dabbled in the randomizer but haven't tried racing it yet. Great way to learn. And yeah, it should be a lot of fun to watch. Yeah, stay tuned for tourney stuff.
I'll be in it and completely suffering.
You'll do great. And Dace as well.
Why no scan dash?
Yes, that's gonna be fun.
Why no scan dash?
You can scan dash, just not quite as zoomy.
Yeah.
Why scan dash no go?
No zoomies.
Why combat mastery tunnels suck?
Nah.
Oh my god, I have never seen the camera be that bad in Hall of Combat Mastery.
What
That was
was
atrocious.
I even tried to fix it and did the same thing again. I'm like, okay, heck you then.
Yep. Alright, we should get out of here. Clear up the channel. Thank you all for watching. We will see you next time.
See you next mission.
See ya.